That heavy rain just keeps on going.
We've had about 3 inches of rain, the possibility of another 2 inches of additional rain in the heart of Knox County.
This is usually a little creek and it's just out of control.
I'm on Concord Street. This water is extremely deep.
We've been here 10 years and I've never seen it get up even close to this.
Several teams are doing swift water rescues.
You can see right here behind me is the minivan still trapped. The water completely up over the hood now. We've been out here for a few minutes and the water continues to rise.
This is usually a little creek and it's just out of control, so much so that it can't even get under this bridge back here.
Right in front of us, a Honda just plows right through the flood water. People are honking at her and stuff.
So he's getting looks like a kid out of the back seat, my goodness. So the officer is carrying the child. There's your police officer. He's getting another child out.
We want to get straight to the latest video coming into our newsroom. This is actually about a dozen cars floating in the water in Lenoir City. This is Dr. Marty's car care. It's along East Broadway Street. And he says these are customers' cars that he's been trying to work on. He's never seen flooding this bad before. Didn't think it was going to get this bad, so he didn't move his cars this morning.
Usually you would expect for that to be up to about your waist high, and you can only see the top maybe foot of the sign left.
This is a critical situation. This is serious. We've had just in Knox County at least 8 to 10 rescues so far, most from people who were trapped in their cars in high water.
Forrest Anderson woke up to this and needed help to get out.
I didn't think it was going to get like this, but I waited too long.
The crews got Anderson and his 2 dogs across safely, walking through the current.
I can't say enough for them. They really risked their lives to get me out of there and my dogs.
We're still working to learn why this guy was in the water in the first place. Of course, there's a couple different reasons. Officials say never do this.
You might be wondering, how much rain have we had? Well, downtown, 5 inches. We've had about 4 to 6 inches of rainfall in those red shaded areas.
It's like bouncing, yeah.
Yeah, it is going under quick.
Unfortunately, these are customers' cars that Marty says that he's been working on. Everybody says thoughts and prayers for you, Marty.
We've been here 10 years and I've never seen it get up even close to this.
For many of you, the rain has either stopped or slowed down, but do not let your guard down because our weather experts are saying the rain will come back.
The threat is certainly not over. You're exactly right, Amanda. And as we've been looking at pictures, some of these you might have seen on Facebook, but it's worth repeating in some cases because you got to drive the message home, get people's attention that this can be life-threatening. This is actually Campbell Station Road. Many of you get off the exit here. This is in front of the Cracker Barrel. We had more than a month's worth in about 12 to 15 hours today, but there's more on the way.
This is part of Powell High School's property. You can see it is largely underwater tonight, especially over by the Brickyard Road Bridge. That's their baseball stadium.
If you heard the expression, you've heard it once. Turn around, don't drown. We're not done with the rain, and just because the rain has stopped does not mean the problems automatically go away.
Knox County Sheriff Tom Spangler was in just a few minutes ago. I did an interview with him, and he said, the last thing we want to do is go to your family's home and tell them that you've died because you've driven through water like this. As darkness falls, conditions could turn deadly. Nightfall means drivers lose the ability to avoid floodwater.
You just tell them, do you want to die? Because if you're going to drive through it, there's a potential for you doing that.
This is a scene of yet another rescue, Beaver Creek Road in Powell this afternoon. You can see a hefty rescue presence after a woman tried to drive through high water there. She was eventually pulled to safety. You know, no matter how many times authorities tell us not to drive through high water, it still happens. This is yet another example. Right along Tenwood Drive near Middlebrook Pike, you can see, yes, that is an abandoned car in the high water, right in front of what appears to be a flooded yard. This Jeep comes from behind and drives around. Here's video just into the WVLT newsroom of the Apple Barn property in Pigeon Forge. That nearby creek has overrun its banks, flooding parts of the parking lot there. The high water is nearing at least one building there on the property.
We drive this road, we're going from Maryville down to Townsend, and a lot of folks will stop here and take a picture, but today folks are stopping to take pictures of this incredible sight here with all the water that's rushing down. This normally is a spill area. This is Perry's Mill. This is where the mill used to be, so you had the overspill.
This cow is trapped by rising floodwater in Jefferson County. You can see him pacing back and forth, desperate to find higher ground. Our Ann Brock shot this footage. She says the farm's owner is working to round up all of its animals. And we do kind of have a side note for you here. The Knox County Zoo says all of its animals are safe and indoors. Ponding and power outages there closed the zoo around 1 o'clock. You know, this is really, really sad to see. These are the images, I think, that kind of make us stop for a second. Unfortunately, it is not the only case of a pet left chained and stranded. Knoxville police say animal control helped save this dog along with a handful of other pets today.
Walden Creek flooded Claybo's campground and forced the water to move entire sections of pavement. Check this out. The gravel rock moved as well. Owners were out cleaning sections so no one would have to drive through this and get hurt.
This is a landslide in Townsend. You can see cars kind of slowing down, scoping out the situation and slowly driving around. Good move there. I think she got this from one of her friends, Kelly, who was in the area. Our crews were there as TDOT showed up and shut down the ramp because of that high water. You can see cars doing what we tell them not to, driving through the water. This is one of the photos that I think we put on social media and people stopped in their tracks. They said, wow. This photo exemplifies the severity of the situation we're now up against.
When this storm hit, it just brought all of the debris from the lake that's right in front of the event center. But we're talking, there's pillows. Look at this. There's a pillow that's right here. This was where people got married. This is where the ceremony center was. There's sand in a beach area that's all now several feet underwater.
They're calling this a 100-year flood, wreaking havoc across East Tennessee. Roads that aren't still flooded are cracked, some destroyed. People are trying now to start to pick up the pieces.
Trailers underwater. You know that's deep, but that's not funny. And then last but not least, traveling along the interstate, and I'm going to slow this down as you can see it, because whenever you can see potholes from the air, you know they're big. And this is going to be along I-40 westbound between Cherry Street in downtown Knoxville.
Just kind of shock.
This is what's left of Suzanne Vickers' 3-level home.
You just don't prepare for something like that.
They have never experienced anything like this. They actually don't have flood insurance because they never expected this.
2 East Tennesseans have already died. A driver drowned in flood water and another was swept away in a landslide. And several school systems are closed tomorrow, including Knox County.
Jason Maddox hoped to get out when he saw the river coming up quickly. But even faster, this street turned into a raging river. Maddox was trying to get to his grandmother and her dog. The water was moving too fast and too deep, so they called for help.
That's Kenny Bailey. He runs the new ferry.
I grew up here. I've lived here all my life.
About 50 people rely on his boat. The commute to their jobs now has a detour.
Go to work and not send the kids to school. It's been really hectic trying to get your groceries in.
We saw these 3 rowing to their car. On the way back, some have to walk a mile to get home. One of the family's biggest concerns is what to do if there's a medical emergency. Janet, the woman who contacted us through Facebook, just had bypass surgery on her heart, and the Bailey son Cole just had his tonsils removed back on Tuesday. They had to get a boat back across. By their math, it could be another 2 weeks before the road is back safe to cross.
Dozens of drivers trying to make it through standing floodwater and getting stuck or worse.
Yeah, cars are in bad shape, so are the roads, as we've seen and you've probably experienced. Between massive potholes and unexpected landslides, it is tough really to drive anywhere in East Tennessee without running into trouble.
Yeah, this is Winston Chapel Road in Roane County. What it looks like today, a large part of the road gone. Major damage to the road for hundreds of feet, and not far from there, Airport Road, much worse for the wear. Our team found major damage on that road, large cracks on a portion of it. It appears the roadway is shifting a bit as well, could be unstable for a while.
This neighborhood over here, one of these houses just shouted that we had to be rescued during the afternoon yesterday, and they just got power back on 5 minutes ago.
If you follow me down here, you can see the guardrail on Ebenezer. Goes to show how high that water was, all that mud left behind. A lot of that now on the road, creating a dangerous drive for a lot of drivers. That's why roads just like Ebenezer here are still closed